Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level Marvel Rivals ranked cast. In theory, if my maths is correct and the players start playing like the second the bracket goes live, this should be the last replay before we start covering Ignite if the replays are public and if I've got the timing right. If it's a normal top-ranked game cast tomorrow, you know why. But because of that, I wanted to try and find a special game for you all. And this replay was brought to my attention in Jur3ky's stream. We've seen them a couple times. They've been Jeff, they've been Human Torch, they've been pretty solid. They're on a different account this time. They're going to be Mr. F Only account in this game. But it was brought to my attention with the terminology of basically everyone was content farming in this game. So we're going to jump on that because it was recommended and that could be pretty fun. So once again, Jur3ky and friends, thanks for the replay. Let's jump into today's game. We're heading to Symbiotic Surface and let's jump on in while the teams set up their picks and bans. Let's quickly go through our rundown. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to help it grow. And shout out to our members Arso, Doki Poki, and John. We got some top level players in this game, so it should already be very entertaining. Remember, you can become a member as well to help keep this channel growing, to help keep supporting me. And of course, I'll be, if the replays are public, bring you the open qualifiers for Ignite. And when MRC starts, which is in about 2 weeks, give or take, we'll be covering those games as well. 2-3 weeks, somewhere around there. It's in June, so soon. We're going to see Spider-Man, and we see the Hulk banned away. Spider-Man, of course, going to be banned out when Necros is on the board, but it was likely that they had their name hidden. The players go through some very, creative strategies in order to try and work out who is on the opposing team to maximize the capabilities of banning the right characters. We're definitely going to see group ban, and Iron Fist gets banned out as well. Target banning Necros here.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Immediately we're seeing an Iron Man coming in for Mr. F Only account, aka Jur3ky. We have that Human Torch left available. Necros and LukeTheNinja both hovering that Y Andrew. Looking to play their Venom. It gets banned so often. They're getting to bring it in this time. Strategists looking pretty similar. Luna, Snow, and Invisible Woman. But Alura might be looking to swap. We will have to see. For now, though, let us introduce our players. Ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side in the blue trunks, on defense of Symbiotic Surface, it is going to be the blue team of Necros on the Human Torch. Rigsychan playing the Psylocke. imperatorfps, first-person shooter on that Invisible Woman. Why, Andrew, why? Is playing that Venom. 7 will be on the Magneto, and Rex will be bringing out the Lunar Snow. Whereas on the right-hand side, it is going to be the red team on attack with It's No More, number 3, playing that Magneto. Alura on the Lunar Snow. Kayjii is bringing out that Invisible Woman. LukeTheNinja on the Human Torch. Rosa is on that Emma Frost. And Mr. F Only account, aka Jur3ky, will be on that Iron Man. Starting us off already, Rigsychan taken down here. Necros sieging in from above with the flaming meteor. Gets shielded down. Unibeam from Mr. F trying to hide around the corner. The duel initiates, but Necros is able to get the best of it. LukeTheNinja takes out Rex as blue team are being driven back, slow but steady. Looks like we are going to see Necros get taken down, and as does Imperator and 7, both off the board as well. Rigsy's trying to get some of those shots onto the double flyers here with the Hella, but is going to back up as point number 1 is grabbed very quickly here for the side of red team. Setting in the shots. Shields up. With the Mind's Aegis. Rosa pushing on in. Rigsy's trying to make the most of this Hella. Land the shots onto the flying characters. Mr. F trying to focus onto Necros. They're trying to get that Human Torch. Not able to land the finishing blow as of yet. But focusing on the flyers, melts them down here with the Unibeam, unempowered. And Andrew swapping onto that Emma Frost is also getting targeted down here. crit diamond form, though. Able to focus down LukeTheNinja, takes them down, and will drive back the attackers. But they're still zoned all the way back to this point number 2 here. As red team creep further and further forward. No more keeping the wall up. Getting focused down. Great use of that magnetic barrier. Here comes the invisible boundary from Imperator. Supernova coming in with the Meteor M from No More. Looking for Rex on the flank. Unable to get the finishing blow as Necros is filling the battlefield with those flaming meteor tornadoes diving on in there. Alura, Fate of Both Worlds to try and keep this going to Silent Seduction from Rosa comes on out. And Andrew matching in kind. Another Supernova, this time from LukeTheNinja to focus them down, to try and break the defense. And they've got the choke point right in the doorway here. It's going to keep them zoned away. Looks like red team might be getting that point number 2. They've got the zoning, they've got the area. It's so toxic for 7 to stand on in. The map is split in 2. It's all about the flank now. As Necros tries to rush it in, tries to stop it, but it's too late. Gate is open, forced to retreat. Force Vortex coming in from that invisible woman to take Necros out the sky, but it's not enough to finish them off. 7 keeps the zone going. LukeTheNinja from above. Mr. F sending shots down range. Trying to get onto Necros once again. Guardian Shield comes on up. Necros topped up. It upgraded Unibeam this time, trying to take the duel once again, just locked in on those flyers. But the 2v1, not going to be something that Mr. F wants to take, as Necros is once again going to Supernova to try and blast on through. Invisible boundary coming out from kayjii to try and lock him down. Another Sonic Vortex sends Necros down to the floor. Invisible Pulse Cannon absorbed by the Meteor M of 7. No one goes down in that fight as they push on in. Red team are heading towards point number 3, but a lot of these elements are starting to get shut down at this late stage of the game. As Alura will be dropping that Fate of Both Worlds. Here comes the invisible boundary. Rigsychan with their own invisible pulse cannon, blocked by the Magneto shield. Great use of the magnetic barrier here as LukeTheNinja with their own Supernova trying to create that toxic engage area, making it impossible for reinforcements to come on in, taking out Rex on the retreat. Andrew is dropping low. They are wiped here. Mr. F took out Riggsy in the air battle. And it looks like trapped in the spawn as the cart moves on in. Necros is trying to make it in. Gets melted here. And with no one touching, 7 cannot reach in time. That is going to be a triple cap for the red team.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Reminder to give a shout out to Jur3ky and crew in the comments for handing this replay to me, so make sure to give an I love Jur3ky in the comments. So we're heading into round 2. Do we see any compositional adjustments here? So far, the hyper-aggression of red team has allowed them to assert dominance, keeping their focus onto the flyers, allowing them to really change their focus, and also the triple duelist, often the weaker strategy, does seem to be struggling. But that seems to be the adjustment for the attack, as they've only just swapped to that. Riggsy was the one on the Hella earlier, and now it's Andrew off of that other Vanguard who was on Emma earlier, now trying to bring out the Hella.
Get ready.
Are they actually going to try the triple duelist strategy to try and burn through the front line? With this much damage from the Iron Man and the Human Torch, being able to take them down, being able to hit them with this hit scan character could be effective, but also it's yet another squishy character, putting even more pressure on your strategists, meaning you are in danger of getting sieged down quicker. It's all about Andrew being able to land these hits, take out those flyers early. And it's already landed some pretty good hits onto Mr. F, but from downtown, Snowball comes in. Sending the shots, Mr. F, sieging from above, as is LukeTheNinja. Necros focusing on the front line here. Takes a little bit of Unibeam, but nothing too serious as of yet. Riggsy is trying to mid-air shot onto Mr. F right now. Andrew getting mounted, forced back, takes the Guardian barrier for a little bit of extra healing. They're doing some good damage to the Flyers. You're seeing Mr. F and you're seeing Luke back up behind cover a lot more often than they were in the last game. This extra damage is punishing them here. Silent Vortex forcing Mr. F out of the sky, but he's staying low, staying in cover, making sure they don't get pinged by that Hella. Trying to keep it safe here. Necros getting focused down here with the Unibeam. Riggsy keeping the pressure on. Necros Pyro Prison to try and break the siege here. They have not made much momentum forwards here. They're stuck at this main entrance point. Flaming Media. Invincible Pulse Cannon on the roof takes out Necros. Absolutely insane as Mr. F Only is gonna take them down. And immediately blue team is routed. Andrew's taken down. Rex is gone. And it's a full retreat coming in here with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. Riggsy sending in the shots. Getting a lot of focus. Good dodge. Riggsy staying safe. Riggsy's actually getting a little bit of momentum here. They have that Invincible Pulse Cannon to try and take someone out. Gets hit by the Magneto knockback into the invisibility. The Psionic Vortex sending them down to the Yeah, what? He got caught mid-air! That is wild! 7 Media Rem to try and take down the backline. Finds kayjii, but Rosa with the Psionic Seduction trying to pull him in. Necros, come here! Into the fire! Trying to focus him down, but Necros is healed up quickly. But Rosa just caught Riggsy mid-air with that diamond form, with the lockdown, and turned it round, cancelling the ult. Putting it on a half cooldown here, but finally it looks like red team are beginning to fall. Losing kayjii early on in that fight has managed to push them back at least a little bit here. They're pushing them back all the way through the spawn doors into the entranceway, and point 1 is disappearing for red team. Blue team, nice lockdown with the snowball, will shut them down, but no one is close to the point there. Rosa tried to portal, but will let it go. Now stuck on the Strange. They tried to portal their way in for the turnaround. 32% on ult now for Strange could give them a turnaround potential. Mr. F Only. Again, trying to just focus down with that Unibeam. Try to track. Doing some really solid damage, but everyone is grouped up. They're not doing damage as a team yet. Waiting for people to return from spawn. Forced to retreat. Focus down as Riggsy picks up the elimination and then dives into the backline with the... Well, doesn't a butterfly. Finds no one else here. Necros took down Luke as blue team are starting to get the momentum. We need to push on in. They've got the isolation. They've trapped the entrance. Sending in the shots. Alura has been keeping the team up very effectively thus far. Heals up Mr. F, who has Invincible Pulse Cannon. Necros has Supernova. Alura Fade of both worlds. kayjii with the Invisible Boundary. Here comes Necros with the Supernova. Doing some good damage, but they are getting targeted here. Gonna shield up with the Fantastic Force to try and sustain on through. Invisible Pulse Cannon. Absorbed by the Media Rem once again, but that Media Rem will get popped immediately here. The Fate of both worlds from Alura and from Rex to try and turn this round. Rex is expiring. Invisible Boundary from Imperator. kayjii gonna match instead. Andrew does have that Goddess of Death and will immediately take to the sky. Invisible Boundary is blocking a little bit of this, but it will expire as Luke is also going to be activating that incredible Supernova to zone out everyone. Flaming Meteor into the backline onto 7. Takes them down. Andrew's Goddess of Death was taken down. Focused too hard. Was not able to find in the eliminations. And blue team were forced back again. Red team have managed to lock down a defense here. Necros continuing to siege. Riggsy arriving back, the most recent one to go down. Andrew is just trying to find any of the Flyers here. Do damage. Getting healed up, getting focused. Necros diving in. Flaming Media. Knows they can take at least a little bit of a duel here. Luke takes out Andrew again. Squishy members. You've got to have those strategists focusing on everyone at all times because everyone's so split all the time when you have mostly duelists. Riggsy going to be backing away. Lots of shots coming in from Mr. F, doing a lot of AoE damage, making it very hard to retreat without taking at least a little bit of damage. But Riggsy does have darts in the butterfly. If they can find the right angle, they could try and utilize this to turn around. Snowball from downtown, sailing on through. Psychic stealth for Riggsy, but they're spotted immediately here on the flank. Necros, though, does have that supernova once again. Flaming Media to retreat this time. Getting absolutely dueled every time they show their face. It's immediate unibeams. But healed to full. The sustain is good. In comes the psionic seduction to try and counteract the supernova. Necros trying to retreat. They're getting pulled on in. The healing output is good. Invincible pulse cannon once again shut down by Media M. It's 7 on point this game with the blocks. Trying to take the duel. The healing output comes out with the invisible boundary versus that fate of both worlds. Andrew will still fall though. Riggsy is the last one. Whoa! They got interrupted there. Shutting down that Dance of the Butterfly. Unable to cast it. And red team, they seem to have a line. Andrew is going for the desperation play. They know they have people on the board. If they can keep touching it, keep holding the overtime, then they can try and teleport in to try and hold this. Diving on in, back on the Vanguard to try and turn this round. LukeTheNinja now has Supernova and gonna burn it immediately. Prevent overtime by doing damage. Force as many respawns as possible as quickly as possible. There's no reason to hold anything back. The Flaming Meteor for the pickup here. It's Norm. No more Media M. Looking for anyone who can reinforce. Riggsy saw their life flash before their eyes there, but the end of the game will save them, but the points go over to the red team, who take this in a 3-1. LukeTheNinja takes the MVP. Which means, because it's a Human Torch, unless they fix this bug, we're going to have... Hey, they fixed the bug! We take these. There used to be a bug with the Human Torch where every time he was on the MVP screen, the end screen would take longer to show up. I don't know why, but it was there. Let's have a look at some of these statistics. Top eliminations is going to be LukeTheNinja with 29, 19 of which were final hits. 9, 15. That is 15 total final hits on the side of blue team, meaning that LukeTheNinja out KO'd them by themselves, and the rest of the team together also still out KO'd blue team. Like, look at this. We've got 11 from No More and Rosa, plus another 9. That's already 20 without even adding the strategists, Alura and kayjii. It was a bit of a one-sided setup that time. Least amount of times getting eliminated is going to be Alura, getting taken out 0 times. Just behind them is kayjii and it's No More, number 3. Both of them only getting taken out once, but Alura keeping it up, and it's going to be telegraphed in that healing output, being on the board, being present to keep healing your team more often. We'll get to that when we get that far in those statistics. We've already talked about top final hits, but top damage is going to be Necros. They are the one on their team that had the more sustained damage. Andrew, a lot of their attention was focused on trying to ping people out the sky with that Hella. Was really focused on just trying to take down the flyers, but that resulted in a lot more time for LukeTheNinja and Mr. F Only account being taken in cover, but they weren't actually finding as much damage as they might have maybe otherwise liked. Whereas Necros, he was just sieging constantly. Riggsy was looking for flanks and blow-ups, so Necros does top the damage number here with 30k, more than Luke and more than Mr. F Only account. Also, double Vanguard means you're hitting the Vanguards more, which means they're taking more damage, as that's kind of a Vanguard job, as long as you don't get eliminated while taking it most of the time. So we will see a little bit more of a stacked number for Necros here on that Human Torch. Top damage blocked. We're talking about it with the tanks, with triple duelist. You're going to take a lot of damage here. And that is definitely going to be reflected here. With It's No More doing an insane amount of mag work here with 42k damage blocked. That is 5k more than 7, the other Magneto, while getting a little bit less damage, but getting taken out 3 times less. So staying on the board a little bit more often, absorbing damage when their team needed it, which allowed Rosa to play a little bit more aggressive. We got a little bit more damage, but was also able to get some lockdowns. We saw the lockdown interrupting an invincible pulse cannon. That was absolutely sick. And finally, the healing. We've talked about it. It is going to be Alura. Not getting taken out once means they were present. They've got some Vanguards who are taking all the damage for them. Very well split. And they had that snowball on Mr. F Only account and Luke3Ninja, meaning they were constantly healing flyers who are constantly being targeted. They were able to keep up nicely. 43k, 10k more than Rex. 13k more than Imperator, and a solid 9k more than kayjii. Alura really topping out those numbers this game. And that's it! In theory, if my timing is right, this should be the last game before we start covering, assuming the replays are public, which really fingers crossed. This should be the last game before we start covering the Ignite Open Qualifiers. They, according to the timer that when I recorded this, speaking of which, we're recording this on the 20th, the replays should, or the games should start in 18 hours from when I'm recording this. Less than 24 hours, which means assuming they start playing right away, the OCEs, the ones we'll be starting with, and I'll of course be trying to cover all the regions if I can. Again, if the replays aren't live, there's nothing I can do about it. If you see me covering just more ranked game replays, that's why. If you're in Ignite, send replays. I will cast them. If you just leave a comment with a replay code, say what your team name is, say who you are. Yes, I want these because I want to cast the best games for this audience. Speaking of which, big shout out once again to Jur3ky and crew. Thank you all very much for sending in this replay. Once again, give it I Love Jur3ky in the description. I'll leave their Twitch channel in the description below. Make sure to give them some love in the comments. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the video to help it grow and to help build in the algorithm. And of course, if you want me casting some MRC or some rivals, then make sure that the people who need to know about that hear that. You can tell me, but I can't do anything about that. It's the people who want to hear, who need to hear it, need to be told, and they have socials everywhere. So if you want me casting stuff, don't be mean, don't be a jerk, don't spam. We don't brigade here, but if you want something, you can ask for it. That is a thing. So if you like me that much, I'd appreciate it. For now though, I will either see you tomorrow for another high-level ranked cast or some Ignite Open Qualifier games, likely starting with OCE or Asia, because those are the games that will be starting first. But for now, I hope you've all enjoyed today's game. I have been Tetcher. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.